Good morning, everyone. Morning grain notes once again here in overnight trade. We have a little bit of support. We've noticed now for some time that overnight has offered some of the best support, and it is happening again here today. We have corn up 5.15 and a quarter, beans up 5 1/4 right now to $12 and a half penny. Wheat also up 5. Now yesterday's setback was large enough we could even see the day session continue with a little bit better support. The carryout numbers are large, and this still suggests corn at $5 and beans at $11. We don't expect an immediate fast move there. Actually, while we look for those to be our downwards targets, it's most likely to come from choppy and a general grind lower type of trade. So we do think there'll be bounces to sell, but obviously we'll be treating bounces as selling opportunities. Given that we're expecting a choppy nature, maybe not looking for a sell and hold. We would actually instead look to sell bounces and take quick profits and just repeat that process. And that could be a trading pattern we use all the way out to January at this point. There is some talk in the market about raising bean yields another half a bushel. We might bias personally being a bit more of just leaving yields close to where they are for corn and beans. So that's why we anticipate more of a grind lower and not looking for any more big shocking reports until the January crop report. We did see solid 8 a.m. sales yesterday, small for corn but solid for beans. We will need quite a string of those to dig us out of this 320 carryout hole that we're in for the beans. We'll see. I mean, yesterday was a solid report. We'll see if this becomes a new pattern of increased China buying, especially for beans, or we'll see if that was just a one-time deal here on a price setback. So we'll just keep track of that. Again, if we're going to avoid falling to $11 in beans, sales to China would be the #1 factor that would help cause us to avoid falling that far. That would carry much more weight than talking about South American issues, of which still not reading too much in South America to cause an issue so far. Most talk there early on is that planting is going right along pace, a few showers, slowing things down here or there, but no large-scale issues to avoid $11 there. So we do want to keep most focus on China if we're going to hold the level above $11. So that's generally our pattern. We're looking all the way out to January in grains. So we'll look for bounces to sell, likely a little bit larger than the ones we're seeing here in overnight, but we will be biasing towards selling bounces and taking quick profits. Over in cattle, 124 cash trade. For the short term, that's once again sideways. That's 7 weeks of cash trades around 123, close to 124. So December, not really moving much at all, but this is starting to become a little bit concerning for the Feb, April, and June contracts. April, for example, has a 136.50 priced into futures. All right, so sideways cash trade, not really affecting December, but these deferred contracts are anticipating a sizable cash rally. So this is why sideways cash trades are not quite cutting it for the deferred contracts, and you're starting to see a little premium taken out of these deferred contracts. We would say that still, if we run into a string of fewer numbers, those higher deferred contract prices are still possible, but it is understandable seeing speculators lose a little bit of faith and moving a little bit lower in Feb and April just from seeing a constant string of sideways trades. So again, if we are going to maintain that premium in the deferred contracts, we do need to see a string of lower show lists. And so far, 2 out of the last 3 isn't quite enough to keep the excitement of a potential 136 trade in April. So we'll see what we get in both grains. Do we see a string of 8 a.m. sales? And cattle, do we see a string of lower show lists? Still a little too early to make a call on either of those right now, but that's what we should be watching going forward. If you have any questions, call in at any time, especially with sell targets for the corn and beans for the short-term sales we are looking to place. All right, thank you, everyone.